Oh, are we on? I think we're on. Sure this audio is working. All right, so all appears to be well. And that over there, I need my UV goggles. So I'm gonna work on this lightsaber, and the first thing I have to do is fix its little crookedness. When you print lightsabers or any long, you know, cylindrical or any long weapon, you know, katanas or whatever, they always will get a little bent just from the peel force on the FET. So they always end up with a little bend in them. I don't know if you can see a lot of light happening over here. There we go. So yeah, so you can see it's got a little bit of a curvature, and we're gonna fix that. So this is not rendered, or this is not cured yet. So what I'm gonna do is clean my hands. Get my UV torch and my googles. And now it's pretty simple. I'm just gonna kind of hold the lightsaber in the position that I want it to kind of straighten out in. And I do a little bit at a time. So like kind of right there in the middle. It's still pretty straight. Kind of finding where it starts to kind of bend, where it starts to bend. Of course, the longer you hold it, the more it bends. Kind of give this a quick and a cure here, just so it's not tacky when I go to touch it, or whenever I go to, I'm gonna put it in the cure station anyway, so that's why I'm kind of doing it like this right now. And then I'm just gonna kind of let it kind of fall almost, and then just kind of let it bend into shape while I cure it. Kind of straighten it out. You can't overbend it. You can't overcorrect. So you kind of have to feel it, depending upon the weight of the thing, the other end. Now, so I'm working my way up towards the tip, kind of letting the weight of it straighten it out. we go. Much straighter. That's much better. Might could still go up with it just a little bit. Right there in the middle. And if you've already cured your part and you still need to bend it, you can use the heat gun to kind of heat it up and bend it into position. I don't like that there's like so much extra lightsaber on the end of this thing. Like the insert only goes to there. I might mod this a little bit because I don't like that it sticks out that far. All right. I think when he's holding it, it's kind of angled down anyway. Does the whole hilt go up in there? I think it does. Yeah, it must. Yeah. Thing goes up in there. Alright, I'll move those cables out of the way. It goes all the way in there. Well, anyway, so point is, I guess, is that basically going to be hanging down anyway. But I don't want it to look droopy. Yeah, I think I may chop it off right there anyway. Where the light tube sort of ends. All right, still got a little bend in it. And I'm not worried about keeping this completely clear because I'm gonna ink over it anyway. do it. So now I'm gonna go put this in the cure box for a couple minutes just to let it do a full set. That, need a little bit of putty and a paint cap. The Youngling Slayer 3000. I don't know if that's gonna work. Let's see. I want to cure for too long. 2 minutes should be plenty. Okay, this seems like it's gonna work. Gotta sand it down a little bit. See a lot of little support marks, but it's pretty straight. Look down the barrel. Oh, what's up on this whole thing? I'm watching it cure right now. I know. I'm sorry. Yeah. Maybe it could be fixed just a little smidge more, but like I said, I think I'm gonna grind it down anyway because I don't like that there's so much tip on the end of it, like it's that you can't light up. So after I get the lightsaber, after I get the what is that thing called? The filament. After I get the filament installed, then I'm gonna decide what to do. But in the meantime, I'm gonna need. What am I gonna need? I need this little open hand thing so that I can solder the little lightsaber wire. This little grabber thing is really great for when you need a little extra set of hands, pull wires and stuff in place. Oh, my saber's done. It's done cooking. There we go. So you can see it turned out. Well, no, it didn't really yellow. Never mind. The wash or the alcohol rinse is what makes it foggy. Now, if I wanted to brighten it back up, I could. I could make it more clear, but it's fine for what I'm doing with it. Got resin on it, a little bit. Oh, the Dr. Doom is coming along. Print is I just finished printing the first two pieces of the. Is it 8 pieces? I think it might be 8 pieces for the cape on Doctor Doom. It is crazy. Like this is probably one of the most difficult prints I've encountered thus far in making my statues. I decided to really kind of keep the seams of the cape up in the orientation so that they printed nice and straight, so they should be nice and flush. Which means the gaps will be easier to fill, because in some places I'm not going to be able to get to because it's just like down in there, you know. And a lot of support marks, so I'm going to be doing a lot of sanding. Actually, I have a trick that I'm going to use to smooth out the cape without having to do so much like sanding. So, all right, let's see here. So there is a support in here. I need to fish out. Yeah, so this light is gonna reach out. Where's the end? All right, there it is. It'll be the majority of the tube, but it's not going to be all of it. So I think I am going to grind this top part down after I get done with this, because it just seems like a whole lot of lightsaber dangling off the end that isn't lit up, you know what I mean? And it's just excessively long. So we're going to mod that a little bit for sure. But first we got to prepare the LED. So let's do that first. So I'm going to use this exposed wire here to connect the one end, and then bend it down, and then we can feed that whole end through. Let's feed this end through. It's a little not as chunky. But yeah, I think we connect it to this end. I mean, it shouldn't matter. So, before we do that, we're going to need to get our space clear a little bit. More clear anyway. No. Guess I don't really need that, but well, I might keep a couple over here. A little handy dandy soldering iron kit. Just a little cheapy. I don't do that much soldering. I finally saw a video. I watched somebody do some like little mini soldering, and it finally hit me that I was just been doing it wrong this whole time. So, like whenever I'm using the solder, like I should be putting it on the thing first, like on a drop on one side and then fusing the two together, not trying to do all three at the same time. So I am excited to be doing that properly now. Spongy thing. I think my tip is pretty clean. Let's find out. It's got a little schmeg on it, but it's fine. Good enough. So the first thing I've got to do is assemble this bad boy. My items over there. A little sponge here. Give it a little water. Hydrate. Ooh, look at it go. Right. Now we'll get this guy plugged in. Warmed up. I like this soldering iron because it's got a little temperature dial on it, and it's got like a little light on the inside, so you know it's heating. I'll give that a second. Get the solder ready. Cut this to somewhat length, a little extra. All right. Not quite hot enough yet. Then a couple more minutes to get warm, and then get started. I really hope I'm going to be able to get this wire in here. If I'm gonna have room, it'll be a tight fit. And these wires are stiff. So the LED and these two wires are gonna have to live. I'm talking low. It's it's on the microphone this time. It's just me. I'm mumbling. Sorry. I'm just saying that like these two wires are gonna kind of have to share this little tiny hole with the LED at the same time as I feed the LED through. So yeah, this is gonna be tough. I may have to wait to go to the hobby shop and get some of the braided wire versus the solid core wire, because this stuff is really like not gonna want to flex around corners and stuff. It's not gonna want to be flexible at all. I mean, I suppose I could pull it through first. Yeah, I suppose I could pull it through first, and then solder it, and then try to force the LED through. Try to force the tube through. Decisions. All right, well, one thing at a time. Let's go ahead and get this part that I know I have to do done, which is get this end soldered up so that I can going on with this thing. Seem to want to be hot enough. Oh wait, no, I was wrong. It's there. Oh, that's way too much. Usually I don't do this part on camera because I don't know, I feel like I'm doing it wrong. That means anything? Smooth. Oh, see? I want to smooth it out a little bit so that it's not going to be a problem. Go. All right. All right, so now that's done. I can take and kind of bend it. Yeah. Hopefully I made that small enough that it will go into the end of the saber. So now I'm going to take it, just bend it back so that I can feed it through. I don't know if that's going to work. That has a better chance of working. So you can see I just kind of welded it and bent it back. So now that whole thing should be able to shove it right up in that tube. But first, let's check it. Let's give it a test. That was weird. I heard something like just super high pitched. Second. It may be important. Yeah, so it's not this direction. Let's try it the other way. Oh, you know what? This wire is that wire is it coated? Oh, that means I might have fucked up. All right, let me try this again because I may have to redo that connection. Let's just get a positive test first. Okay, so that definitely works that way. And that tip is red. It's got a little hole in it. Yeah, this wire. Oh wait, no, I just didn't have a good connection. All right, there it goes. It's working. All right, cool. All right, so my solder, that means my little connection right there is all good. So now we can move forward. So yeah, I don't know because I've got to pull those wires through first. little bit extra to work with is nice too. So it's got to come up and out through there first, and then I can weld them or solder them, and then it's all got to go back through that tiny little hole. I don't know if this is gonna work. I may have to wait and go get different cables or different wires. These wires may be way too stiff because it's not going to give me the play that I need. Maybe it will. I don't know. I'm like half tempted to try it. You know what? Fuck it, let's try it. Worst case scenario, I just rip it all out and do it again later. Right? Right. Just plastic and wires. I'm not trying to get married. I'm already married. What's up, Mando? I'm trying to decide if this is gonna work, because these solid core wires don't have the same flexibility, and I got to get it all through that teeny tiny little hole. So I may have to wait until I can go to the hobby store tomorrow and get some braided wire that is more flexible. This one's being a little problem. Oh, because I'm pulling against the wrong side. Yep. But I mean, who knows? Maybe it'll be better. I'm gonna feed it through and see what happens. I haven't done a lightsaber in so long that completely out of practice. On the plus side, when I was smart enough to bore the holes out in advance. Why isn't that? There's a little catch there. It's gotta make a little corner. Where's the hole? Oh, I see. It's bottoming out when it hits the thing. Maybe I have to do these one at a time. Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. Like these wires have zero flex in them. Not zero, but you know what I mean. Like, there it is. And this is a super teeny tiny hole, so I may end up making the hole a little bit bigger. Because I also just noticed that, like, whenever this thing is inside the sleeve there, you hardly see any of this, actually. Like, so much of his lightsaber's hidden. Yeah, this wire is nowhere near flexible enough to round those corners. Oh, hold on, maybe I spoke too soon. I gotta quit giving up. Come here, you sucker. Hey, I got one through. I'm thinking that I will need to make this hole a little bit larger. I don't know, maybe it might work. No, it's not. I can't bend. Not with that wire in the way. Yeah, I'm gonna need to carve this out a little bit. All right, and I think I'm gonna wait and I think I'm gonna wait and get some braided wire because it's just too stiff. Like I need to have a little bit. I need to have more flexibility. So like now I need to know if I can back this thing out. Cause yeah, there's just like when it comes down to the end when I gotta like bend this thing and put it in. There's it that I mean. And I'll need to use like teeny tiny heat shrink to cover the connections. All right, I'm gonna get this out of the way first, and then I'm gonna see if I can widen this hole a little bit. But I think I'm gonna have to wait. Go get some wire because this is not gonna be flexible enough. I don't think. Maybe it will. I don't know. I'm on the fence. It's so close. Like, but I feel like if I start to jam it in there, I might not be able to recover. Like even that first little bend right here. I just had a radical idea. Since I know I'm going to shorten this anyway, because I don't like how much extra, there's like this much extra lightsaber where the channel, where the LED channel ends right here, there's that much extra. So what if I do this? What if I chop this off at the end, feed feed it through backwards, wires and all, and then get some clear resin and cap it off? Does that sound like a plan? Does that sound reasonable? I feel like that could work. I just have to feed it through backwards. So once I feed those wires through, they get down here, I can pull them, and then I can force them into a turn. I can force them to do the turn down here, and that'll keep everything nice and straight too, because I can pull on this side and push on that side. Okay, I think this can work. And I can just build up the yeah, exactly. So this won't have a seam if I fill it in with clear resin. And even if it does, it's right on the very tip anyway. And there's this you're gonna I still haven't figured out a way to hide the little metal blob on the end of the see this little metal connection here. Like that's about as minimal as I can make it. That is as small as I can make it. Um So there's always going to be this little black dot on the end anyway. So if I shove that guy down in there, actually I would want to short it even more so that the lightsaber gets full illumination. Like right there is probably where I want to cut it. Yeah, this is stretched. It's right down to the hilt. It gives me a little bit of play. I need to shove it down farther. But like right there is a good. No, that would be a good mark, I think. One more time. Let's straighten it out. I want it down in the hilt as much as I can. But fill the saber right there. This may be, we may have stumbled onto, that's too sharp. I hurt myself. We may have stumbled onto a method of lightsaber construction here tonight. There we go, got it marked. Get a stick the same length. Put the statue together to make sure the length is okay. Well, I mean, I can't really put the statue together anyway because I got the other wires. Excuse me, I got the other wires pulled through. But just kind of guessed, and his hilt and everything kind of goes up into the sleeve pretty far. I mean, that's far. That's plenty of distance. Like, honestly, this whole extra bit just looks unnatural. Like, that looks like crazy long. So I think whenever I short it, that's going to look better anyway. Yeah, because that's absurd. It's like all empty. Hollow. I mean, it's not even hollow. It's solid resin from there up that I don't need. That I wouldn't be able to light up anyway. So, all right. So I got a spot here. And kind of give it a score first, just to get kind of a straighter edge here. Doesn't have to be straight. I'm going to be sanding it down and stuff anyway. All right, so I've never tried this before, but thanks, Mando, for your encouragement. Appreciate that. I'm gonna kind of glass bottle cut this thing. I'm just gonna spin it around, putting a little more pressure on it each pass, so then I can get a nice clean break. In theory. Trying to not rush it. It's a little cockeyed, but I can sand it level after the fact. Round and round we go. I'm just gonna kind of keep scratching away at it until it snaps. Oh, I felt it. There it goes. Oh no. It's not quite the clean break that I had hoped for. But I can fill it in. Sand it down a little bit. All right, I circumcised the lightsaber. Add this to my pile, my collection of circumcised lightsabers. I'm kidding. I don't have a pile. Just a stack, really. Give me a big flat sanding tool. You're a big flat sanding tool. All right, here we go. Just gonna level this down a little bit. I know, right? Okay, so there's a tiny bit of damage on the end that I did not intend on, but when I go to patch this up with the clear resin, I can seal that little breakage there. And then what I'll do is I'll pile up a little bit of clear resin here and then just like round off the end, give it a little bit of a radius. Right now, I got a hole that I can feed all this shit through and not worry about it. And that'll fill up the lightsaber hilt much better. You know what I could do is with a little pipette, I could actually like backfill this whole thing in with clear resin. Like I could drop all the stuff in and then just drip in resin all the way and let it fill up. That's an idea. That's an idea. Huh. It would probably reinforce, and then I could cure it, and it would reinforce the saber a little bit. It is a little bit short, but that's okay. I'd rather it be short and fully lit up than have a whole bunch of shit on the end not light up. All right, let's quit eyeballing this thing and let's do the damn thing. These wires I don't think are going to be long enough now because I got extra play here that as I'm feeding it through, I need to be able to pull. And then I can use once I get them in position, then I can use these in that little hole to juke them into the rest of his arm one at a time. That part's fine. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull a full set of wires through. It's going to be kind of a bit of a waste, but because I'm going to end up cutting it. But that'll be easier to deal with. What if the filament burns out? I light these up for the photo, and then very rarely do I ever turn these on again. So I've never had an issue of burnout or batteries running out or anything. I haven't even turned on. I've got Obi-Wan and a Mace Windu with light up sabers, and I have it like 2 years ago, and they still work. So I don't think that's an issue because it's not really filaments; it's LED, right? So it's not like there's not anything to burn really. Does that make sense? Yeah, that should be plenty. Mine are always on. Yeah, I mean, I want to get to the point where I can add little Raspberry Pi like Bluetooth switches. Like that's my next evolution of statue creation, I think. I haven't quite gotten there yet, but I feel it. I feel it coming. Is that enough? All right, yeah, if I can make this work, then I don't have to worry about the braided wire. Whoops. I mean, I still got his hand like up in the sleeve issue to deal with, but that should be okay. Yeah, like I know it's a thing. I wish there was a pre actually there might be. I haven't excuse me. I haven't gone hunting for it, but I wonder if there's a like a prefabricated, Bluetooth switch that's small enough or just a Bluetooth enabled thing that I could put inside of statues that would control the flow of the current. So, I don't know. I feel like I should probably do a little research on that, as I might not have to build them out of Raspberry Pis at all. Or I just find if I can just find a way that just makes it super simple, then I'll just do it, and I'll do a whole bunch of them, and then I can sell them. Be like, hey, Bluetooth switches, come buy my shit. I gotta find a way to get out of the grind. If I could figure out a way to just do hobby stuff all day, that would be fantastic. That wouldn't be a bad product to make though. Like it can't be that hard. Like once you get a setup, once you figure it out once, then it's just like you run the program, you load up your Pi and so it's just buying the hardware. I think I'm gonna look into that. My next light up statue may be a Bluetooth controlled light up statue, because that would be freaking sweet. Then I could write a little software for it, control it, it'll work on your phone or whatever, or what have you. I could do that all professional like. That's not a bad idea. All right, that gives me hope. I don't know if there would be enough model makers out there to make the purchase, but I mean it's one per statue, so I mean once you have one, I imagine you're going to want a lot. And if I make it easy, like if I make it like pretty fucking plug and play, then that could work. We may have just birthed an idea worth pursuing. Oh, I need my solder. What am I doing? Yeah, that's true too. Like if it's a little Raspberry Pi, I mean, there's no reason why I couldn't also include sound effects. Like preloaded on the board, like fucking darts. Like what was it, the Imperial March, Darth Vader's like thing. That'd be awesome to be able to hook that up. See, I don't think hot toy figures are gonna be. It would need to be like a base or something because they're not big enough. Like you would need something like something with some size that you could put it up inside, right? I don't think that would work with the hot toys thing. But like I said, but I have seen some of those hot toys figures have like little custom stands or whatever, so I could get into selling custom stands with built-in Raspberry Pi, sounds and lights. I know there is a much bigger market for hot toys. Yeah, see now that would be badass. I'm sure that's possible with these LED filaments, because you can, when you light them up, you can see, if you look closely, there's like just a bead of them. There's a little bead of tiny, super teeny tiny LEDs. So I bet that would be possible to do the light up animation. I think I might just have to go do this now. Not for this project because it's too late, but I think this may be something I'm going to add to my list of nerd things to do. I have I have a list of nerd things to do. Brew beer is my next nerd thing to try. What was I going for? Oh, the heat shrink things. Where's my little heat shrink tubes? I hope I have one small enough because it does need to be teeny tiny. Yeah, like I said, I there's got to be some some scripts or something that you down. Like I know you have to, like if you're programming a little Raspberry Pi, you do have to go in and like load it, right? You have to do all that shit. But I'm sure there's some little node packets or something that you download for little functions like a string, a sequence light up, or something like that. Like I might just have to get into that. All right, you know what color it is irrelevant, I guess. This is the smallest heat tube shrink tube that I have. It's gonna have to do. You're gonna have to do, pig. All right, Mando. Have fun with your stream, bro. All right, let me see. What am I doing? I'm gonna add a little bit of solder to each of these. I can do them simultaneously. I mean, not simultaneously, but kind of lined up like that. Have enough grip. Yes. Are you still on and hot? Oh yeah, you are. Now you're cooking. Yeah, I think if I could perfect that, like I said, and I can crank those out, that might be a fun little something to sell. I feel like people would respond well to that. No, that's the trick. I'm not touching, instead of touching the wait, I gotta remember which side's red and which side's not. Which is hot and which is not. That one. Alright, so this side is the red. I can't see, and I don't think I put enough solder on there. I'm trying to be a little judicious with it, so I don't have too much to try to thin out. Shit. I'm sure people out there that actually know what they're doing, they're watching me do this, they're cringing. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just making this shit up right now. Ah, it keeps moving. Thanks, Dio. Appreciate the support. I will figure some shit out. That's for sure. Oh, I gotta trim this down. It may not be pretty, but it's gonna do the job. Yeah, it wasn't a good episode. I think. I mean, there's still the first these first 3 episodes. I think they're still just setting stuff up. I think it's gonna be a minute before we get into anything good. I think probably the next episode is probably gonna be a little better. I think. Was that the fourth? Really? I thought that was the third. Anyway, they're still setting up. They're still setting up everything, but I think they're starting to uh, bring some tension to a head. So should be good. Ooh, I'll tell you what, that went a lot smoother than the first one did. All right. What happened here? Why is it stuck? Okay, just mashed it really good. Exposed a little bit of the. Oh, it got hot. Exposed a little bit of the sheath there. Oh, it's not going to touch anything. Yeah, it should be fine. All right. Now one last test. Oh, I can end off here. All right. All right. We got a successful test. Let's get this bastard loaded up here. All right. So, get all this stuff out of the way. Oh, I gotta put some heat tubing on there before we totally wrap up. Actually, I guess this side doesn't really matter because that's way too thin anyway. Yeah, we're just gonna do the one. Oh no, got a little too much solder on there. All right, I'm gonna have to work that down a little bit and try to not unsolder it. So here goes nothing. Ah, damn it. Oh, that's funny. The shrink tube got hot from the solder. You know what? I'm just going to trim that off anyway while I'm here. There's way too much exposed copper. The first time, there we go. That's much better. That is more reasonable. Just shy of being enough. These little suppose I got to test it again. All right, that should be small enough, I think. Maybe, I don't know, hold on. Should be able to get the sheath over that. Like I can't have too much material because I got to jam it all down that tube, so I have to be very careful with how much shit that I'm adding to this thing. But I think I should do it. Yay! All right. I think just the heat from this should be enough to shrink it. That should do the trick. All right. Now, moment of truth. See if we can force Waka Waka these cables through this tube. Nice and straight. The yellow one is a little bit longer. here, huh? Alright, well, doesn't matter. Cool thing is I'll be able to straighten these out once I get them run. Alright. Alright, if I can pull it through one way, I should be able to pull it through this way. Delicate bit of surgery. And actually this kind of worked out for the better, because that way I can get one through before getting the other one through. I guess it doesn't really matter if this wire gets damaged because I want to be cutting it. Alright, there we go. Almost got it. So close. Gotta get this yellow out of the way. Oh, there it is. Alright, now the question is, though, I pull it all the way through, will I be able to make that turn? Yeah, I think so. I can straighten it out once I get it inside there. What's going to suck is, like, when I don't have the ability to push it, is it going to want to move? Oh, I don't know. All right. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to go to the hobby store and get some braided wire because, as much as I don't want to admit it, that's the answer to the problems that I'm having. This solid core wire is way too uh, it's way too not flexible where it needs to be. And also, I think if I can get braided wire that's already twisted together, um, I can get it for like super super small, like train track size or whatever. So yeah, that sucks because this would have worked, but it'll work easier with the braided wire. And also this little yellow solder here, I'm gonna have to work on. Excuse me, I'm gonna have to work on making that a little smaller as well. I suppose I could run this super thin wire all the way through. Like there's no reason to attach it here. I could just unsolder it and then just take a piece of that all the way down, and that would save a lot of space. Is that worth a try? And as long as it goes through at the same time as the red, it'll be much easier to make that turn. But no, I think I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna go get some braided wire anyway. Because yeah, this is way too tough. So yeah, we're gonna pause on that for a minute. I suppose I can turn off my melt my cup here. Almost. All right, I suppose I can turn this off now. Oh, it turned itself off. It did. Oh, it came unplugged. That's funny. All right, I think that's my sign. I suppose I could work on sanding down that stuff on there. And doing the resin on that, because yeah, this is gonna need to. We're gonna need to come back to this at another time. It's not plugged in. Sometimes things don't work out hard as you want to try to make them. It just don't work. In this case, it's just the wrong material. And I don't have anything else to replace it with. So, a trip to the hobby shop is required. But I do love going to the hobby shop, so it's not like it's a bad thing. All right, yeah, let's take this over to the sanding booth and do a little bit of sanding. Oh, gotta turn my lights on. And so for this, these little spots on the back here, where I loaded it up yesterday with this plastic wood, I'm just using these to patch up some of the broken base part where it's got like a little bit of a tear, very, very thin, and they just didn't print. So, or they printed, but with the when I took the supports off, they kind of got broken and kind of brittly. So I want to kind of clean them up a little bit. Probably use that flat sanding stick. Yeah, so for these, I kind of want to give them a little bit of shape as much as I can. I think I need to do this. Move my X-Acto. I left it way over here. I'm going to rebuild this ledge here. Yep. Re-sculpting little details. This is what I do instead of reprinting. Probably be easier just to reprint the thing, but it's the back. Nobody's gonna see it. If it was more important, like if it was a detail piece or something, I would reprint it. But for this, as long as you can glance at it and it's passable, then it's good enough.
I think I got the hang of this now. The thickness there to try to replicate that.
Sand and sand and sand.
Alright, that's passable. Same for this side.
You missed the answer. It was a deal. Um, Honestly, like it depends on the base. Like this one was small enough, and everything is reachable. So, as far as like paint wise, everything I can reach everything to paint it. So in this particular instance, I didn't mind printing one piece. If it's really ornate or really big, obviously, then I got to print it big, and I got to print it multiple pieces. But I've gotten pretty good at covering seams and stuff, so it doesn't bother me anymore now to do multiple pieces, like larger prints, larger bases with multiple pieces. It really just depends, I guess is the answer. Like this, the only drawback is like sometimes the orientation doesn't really work out if when you're doing a whole big base, when you're trying to print it all at once. Like with this one, I had to sacrifice this backside. So up in the rocks, it's fine because the little support marks you can barely kind of see them. But these little thin pieces of the base, the supports, when I took the supports off, they snapped, and so they got a little brittle. So that's what I'm kind of rebuilding right now. I use that wood, that plastic wood, to I don't know if you can see it. The light there it is. So it's like I use that plastic wood. I just kind of built up the material, and now I'm carving out the plastic wood to replicate these little pedestal steps that got torn up whenever I took the supports off. And this is the back of the thing, so I'm not too worried about it as far as like being accurate. You're just going to glance at it anyway. I just didn't want them to look totally broken. So now I'm just going in with the knife and kind of like carving out where the little parts of the pedestal continue, and basically just sculpting these little pedestals back in. But this plastic wood is forgiving enough that it's easy to remove the material. They put a lot of it right here because there's a big chunk missing. So yeah, just run of the mill repair work right now. But yeah, it's super easy to cut through, and it's holds its shape pretty nicely. The hard part is leveling it. It's such a small size. Once I level it, give it shape, then I can go back in and there's a little bit of a undercut. So once I get it leveled and in shape, then I can go back and do the undercut.
It's starting to take some shape now.
Alright, I think that's pretty good. I mean, you can tell that there's something happening here, but once I prime it, you're not gonna see it. Yeah, cleaning the big base is difficult. You just got to do a little bit at a time. And remember, you're doing it for fun. Yeah, mainly I just don't want you to be able to see it when it like rotates around. You know what I mean? Cut this corner down a little bit. Yeah, this head not perfect, but it will do. Get these other spots. can't get in there to get at it. All the little filigree things in the way. Oh, it's better than it was. Ah, I can't get in there. Rip the chunk off.
That's as good as that's gonna get. Alright. Oh wait, I gotta do these little spots. Sorta. Not really. Yeah, don't worry about these things. Knock them down so they're not like puffy. They just kind of blend into the rock anyway. Alright, those are fine. I'm gonna have to hit these back here with a little bit of resin. A couple little divots where the wood, plastic wood, it didn't shrink, but it kind of fell in. There was a void there, so I guess it kind of makes sense. Alright, that's good enough.
Woo! All right. So that's ready for resin. That's ready for resin. That I'm gonna have to go to the hobby store to get the proper wiring. So I think that's as much progress as I can make for tonight. So tomorrow, I don't know if I'll stream tomorrow night. Depends on if I can, what time I can get out of work and get to the hobby shop. I may be on tonight, or I may be on Friday night, or I may just wait till Saturday, like afternoon. That sounds kind of good, actually. So, but made some good progress tonight. Anyway, figured out my lightsaber situation. So now I just got to get the proper wire set, and we'll be good. And yeah, then we'll be ready for priming and stuff soon. So yay! All right, until next time, take it easy, and yeah, I'll catch you on the next stream. Later.